All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that riding video. Honestly, the CR250 rips. Freaking love it. The one thing I did notice was the front fork. One of them was leaking. The bump stop on the rear shock was also just falling apart. And then I could tell somewhere in the mid-range, she was leaning out. So probably a carb thing. So lo and behold, I got some more content coming up. As you can see, I have the bike torn up. So I did get the carburetor out. We're gonna go ahead and clean it up. And then I did take off the front and rear shocks. So this front fork was leaking really bad. There was a puddle in my truck. I took the bike out to one of the local motocross tracks and absolute blast. I haven't been to a track in a very long time. So it was nice getting acquainted with some of the jumps and cornering. So just, honing in on the skills there. But we're going to get this thing put back together. We did put some decals on there. Just a little quick Honda OEM look. So I really like how that looks. I did take a small spill at one of the tracks. So I put a dent in the expansion chamber. So that sucks. But everything else is looking good. Hope you guys enjoy whatever it is you're doing, and we'll catch you on the next video. All right, guys. Well, we are back. Bike is still torn apart. We got the plastics there. And like I said, we went to go get the suspension done. And I ended up going to Suspension 101. They did a few things where I think they resurfaced the shaft here. Just replaced all the seals because this is the one that was leaking. So we're gonna go ahead and test it out. And this is a local servicer here by my house. So go ahead and get this, put back on the bike. So really excited. I don't have to worry about suspension anymore. And then on the bump stop or shock side, you can see they added in the bump stop. So a little bit pricey, but it is what it is. And then we also got the carb back in. The pilot jet was pretty much clogged, so hopefully that allows the bike to breathe a little bit better. I didn't take a look at the needle, which I probably should have, but we're gonna go ahead and just test it out. And if I do need to pull the carb back out, we'll go ahead and do that. But I'm pretty sure it's on the stock setting, and that's what the bike calls for with the Pro Circuit pipe. So we're gonna go ahead and put this back together, and I will get back to you when I am done. All right, well, I had second thoughts. I might as well check the needle jet while I'm here and see what positions it's on, because it is, the mid-range, and it was feeling lean. So I gotta make sure that's on the third position, especially with the Pro Circuit and the reed valves. There is a link. If you go to the Pro Circuit website, you can look up your specific bike, and it'll tell you what jetting to run. And so here's the carb. It's pretty easy to take out. I had to replace a couple gaskets. So there's a gasket that's up there. There's a gasket that goes on top of the bowl, and then there's a gasket for this drain plug right here, which also holds together the bowl to the carb main frame. So make sure you're checking those gaskets, because mine were broken. And we're gonna go ahead and take this throttle cable off so I can get access to the needle jet and see what position we're on. So I think I'm gonna have to take off that bolt up top to loosen everything up, and then I should be able to access whatever I need to access in there. But pretty easy with subframe out of the way, loosen up that hose clamp, take off the gas line, and she pops up. She pops right out. All right, guys, well, I was able to get the slide out with the needle jet. It's a bit of a pain in the ass. You have a few of these pieces here, and the needle jet sits just in there. And you could see, if I pull this up, and it focuses. It's on the third position. So 1, 2, 3, which is what it calls for. So didn't really need to take this apart. No, I'm probably gonna struggle putting this back on. Not looking forward to it, but onward and upward. So let's go ahead and put this all back together so that we can get on the bike again. All right, guys, I'm at a loss for words here. I don't know what to think. I'm so upset. I found some really bad news regarding the CR250. Let me go ahead and show you. Honestly, don't know what to do. It's heartbreaking. We've put in so much work. Did the suspension, did the engines, did the carb stuff. I mean, she's looking so good. Let me show you. So I was riding it around and noticed there was a bit of oil buildup here. And lo and behold, I see a small little hole. And that hole looks like a plug or something. But there's oil that's coming out, so I'm not sure. That almost looks too good to be true. There has to be a plug that goes in there. So if anyone can help me out, there's a hole in the case. I don't know what to do. I'm sad. And we're gonna have to try and figure this out. All right, guys, well, I was real down in the dumps yesterday. I thought we had catastrophic failure on the bottom end here, but apparently it's factory. So I did some research, went on Facebook Marketplace, and that's a weep hole to allow for excess oil and buildup to get out of the bottom end, which is actually a pretty smart idea. So no, it does not mean that there is a hole in the bottom end that you'll have to, fix, replace, whatever you have to do. What it does mean, though, is that oil is leaking somewhere, and there's a few reasons that could happen. What I smelled was gas mixed with two-stroke oil, which means we might have a bad bearing, main seal. So after doing some research, there's 3 main reasons that you could be getting leaking oil out of that weep hole. The first reason is if you did blow up a piston, there could be a hairline crack in the case, right? That would result in transmission oil leaking out of that hole. Second reason is the clutch actuator arm has a seal that also holds the transmission oil in. If that seal is popped out or something that seal's bad, that will also cause transmission oil to leak out of that hole. And then the third reason would be having oil or gas mixed, like gas, a pre-mixed gas leaking out of the weep hole due to a main seal behind the stator. That also causes a lean bike because it is sucking in unwanted air. So to me, when I looked at the residue coming out of that weep hole, it did look like gas, pre-mixed gas. I don't think I have to split the cases apart. We're gonna go ahead and pull the cover off to really try and understand what is going on behind this cover. So fingers crossed, hopefully this will A, stop the oil leak, and B, get the bike back to So we're not, you know, essentially running it super lean, because it does feel lean, like you're giving it gas and it's like struggling. It's struggling, you can hear it. It's struggling for more gas. So there's too much air in there. So let's go ahead and pop that cover open and see what the hell is going on.
Let's get started.
Okay, so as you can see, there is oil sitting at the bottom of this. And that's the hole that the oil travels through to get to the weep hole. Does not look like oil is coming out of this clutch actuator arm, but coming from this part in the back. Honestly, doesn't look that bad. Let's go ahead and smell that. Definitely smells like gas. So, essentially need to pull this off and change the seal in the back. All right, well, it's the next day here. We've had some time to think about this. I just put the cover back on temporarily, but essentially ordering the right tools to get these, I guess, flywheel and stator off. So you don't want to be yanking it out. You need a special tool that kind of threads into and it pops out evenly. So we're gonna get that. That is ordered, that's on its way. So the Chronicles of the CR250 continue. Thanks for staying tuned in. Please like, comment, and subscribe, because there will be more videos about the CR250. And so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the video. The work will happen in the next clip, but getting one step closer to dialing this bike in. So suspension's done, carb is clean. Luckily I checked that needle jet, because what I would have done is had to take everything else apart, because I was still feeling like the bike was lean. And so glad I checked the needle jet. It's in the right position, and this kind of makes sense why it smokes and there's so much splooge that comes out, is because there's a bad mixture of oil and gas, or sorry, air and gas happening in the cylinder. So looking forward, I'm not sure if I'm looking forward to taking this apart, but it shouldn't be that bad. I saw some YouTube videos, so we'll take you guys along for the ride. But with that, we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.